home.
Yes, very amusing.
Who wants a fresh cup of tea?
Thank you, Ms. Gu, but I can't stay long. I just wanted to pass along a request from your commanding officer.
Commander Vandam? Does it have anything to do with our new arrival?
Correct. He stopped by while you were out on your tour. He said he'll come back, but that I shouldn't wait to ask you.
Here we go. I bet I can guess.
You probably can. He wants to fast-track our new friend here for blade duty with a training assignment.
What in the hell are we waiting for?
As he put it.
The commander does have a way with words.
Makes even my pitch sound smooth.
I explained about the memory issues, but he didn't see it as a problem. And to be honest, given our current need for blade recruits, I can't say I entirely disagree.
Hey, it's not me you need to convince. Blade service is voluntary, remember?
Of course, and I would never force or coerce anyone. Well, friend, what do you say? Can we count on you to do your part?
Look in Inagi's eyes and nod firmly, or shrug your shoulders and shake your head. I'm gonna play the video game. Well, yeah, I'll help out. I kind of question that blade service is voluntary on this extreme life or death settlement that the lives of the entire human race depends on. But you know, I mean, I don't like the draft in real life, but I kind of feel like there should be a draft here. I don't know. But yeah, sure, we'll do it.
I knew you'd make the right choice. Welcome to the organization. Elma, she can start on your team. You'll begin training immediately.
Yes, Mr. Secretary. With pleasure.
All right. Welcome to the Cool Kids Club.
Now then, let's discuss that training assignment. We've decided to start you out on a probe installation, just to get your feet wet.
I guess we should back up a bit. Here in New LA, we're using a specialized computer system called Frontier Nav to help us deploy a sensor grid across Mira. A network of data probes that allows us to monitor conditions and collect all kinds of information about the planet.
Expanding that grid and filling in the blind spots is one of Blade's highest priorities. Here, take a look at this. What you're seeing on screen is a terrain map that includes New LA and the surrounding landmass. As you can see, we've divided the area into a series of hexagonal blocks. We call these blocks segments. Together, they form our grid. We determined this was the most efficient pattern, given the limited range of our probes. Based on it, we know exactly where we need the probes to go. Now we just have to install them.
The sooner the better, as far as I'm concerned. The Frontier Nav probes can also detect the general locations of living things in the vicinity, which comes in handy if we need to track down a blade or another citizen.
Yes, quite handy indeed. So for this first exercise, you'll be heading here, to that white segment. Go there, install the data probe, and then come back home.
Got it. East of the city.
In that case, we can take the east gate out of the administrative district, right? We should be there in no time.
I'll leave the details on the data probe installation procedure to you, Elma.
Of course, Mr. Secretary. All right, you two, shall we?
Yeah! Training or not, let's go install the hell out of that probe!
Okay. So we have our mission to do. Speaking, I need to learn how to do it. And it's talking about frontier. This might be a cutscene. Is this going to be a cutscene? It might be a cutscene. I think it's a cutscene. So I shouldn't really get on a spiel if it's just going to start me right into a cutscene.
Man, am I glad we pulled an assignment to the east of the city this time. It'd be a long walk all the way back over to the west gate.
Hold on. Are we even sure the East Gate will be open? Last I heard, it was still on lockdown from all the high-level indigent activity.
It was, but they just lowered the threat level earlier today. The gates are officially open for business. One of our teams must have gone out there and kicked some furry indigent butt, huh?
Well, I could suggest that it was them, but I know it wasn't because they were with me. So let's choose the other answer and speculate that it was Rena and Gwen. Because those are the only other people I know.
Wouldn't surprise me at all. Irina's team is one of our best.
How does she know Irina and Gwen?
We ran into them just before we met up with you. They were on their way out to an assignment.
Well, then that settles it. It must have been them, right? Man, forget this amateur hour probe baloney. Those guys are where the action's at.
I'll try not to take that personally. But enough talk. We've got our mission to deal with. Let's head out.
Roger. That probe isn't gonna install itself. Let's get to the East Gate, shall we?
Okay, so anyway, we're going to install a probe. And that's going to help us with Frontier Nav. And what Frontier Nav is that's what's on the gamepad that I can't show you. You can kind of see it there in that little shot right there. It's a map. And when you install a probe, that is unlocking the ability to fast travel to that probe. So you get a little experience. Find where there's all pre-designated places of where you can't just put the probe wherever.
Hey!
Oh, robots. You can't just put them wherever. There are pre-designated spots, and you go out and find those spots, place the probe, and now you can fast travel there. And that's like the meat of the game. That's how exploration just works here. And we've been sent out. Oh yeah, I love this weather. Okay, this is a weather condition, the Aurora. You can see the weather up in the very top right next to the time. Oh, it's not that anymore. Anyway, if anyone's being super eagle-eyed, you may recognize, as soon as I log onto this guy, I'm level 5, level 6, and level 5. I don't think I was that in previous footage, because when I did this session last, I forgot to hit record, and I needed to start the game over. So that's fun, and I did a little more grinding that time. I haven't changed anybody's equipment yet, which is probably a bad idea, but we'll figure it out, right? Right? It will be fine. Okay. And see this giant pillar of red light? All the probes, all the unplaced probe locations will have this huge infinity pillar of red light. And sometimes you'll look on your map and you'll be like, oh, I should be able to lay a probe in this area somewhere. And you go to search for it and you just go to the red light. But then sometimes the red light will be like in a cave, so it doesn't actually go up forever. And then I remember this. If you see on the little mini map right there, where do I have to go? I think I have to go up to this thing. This is how you change time, right? This is how you change time. Yes. So let's change it to morning, just because. I don't like the idea that that Elma came and found me at night in a thunderstorm or whatever, and then we just never slept. It's an JRPG, you know, you don't think about sleep. Can I take on this guy? Let's find out. Okay, so this is all the battles we've done so far is very, you know, like this. Just here's a thing, See how there's multiple target points? Like, now I'm targeting its head, now I'm targeting its tail. I'm going to lock onto its tail, and we did enough damage to its tail, let it block off. Now we'll do this to the head, and that's either going to kill it or something.
I'll make him hurt.
Yeah, that's probably just going to kill it. But you
Hope I
can
didn't get in the way.
lock on to certain parts of creatures. Gotta lock onto this guy's tail again, and we'll break it off, and that'll get you, like, rewards. Now, another thing about battle I would like to go over is the soul voice mechanic. I want to go over that a little more in depth. You'll see, like, occasionally characters will say a thing, and it will be color-coded. There, I created that. Now, Rachel just said a thing, and it was orange, which means, hey, anyone else in my party do a move that's orange, and it'll work a little better, and also heal the party. Now, how in-depth that... One, that it reveals a lot of the characters' personalities, which is nice. Just the way they say things, the way they carry, how they say things. You go to soul voices, you get to see what makes all those prompts happen. This is if I draw a melee weapon. Here's all the soul voice prompts. That's the first two columns. And then over on the right hand side is what it does. Draw melee. Trigger. When the character starts the battle by drawing a melee weapon. When the character starts a battle by forming an art. When the HP falls below 30. So when my HP falls below 30%, I will say that, and it will give 100% to a heal move, which are green. Heal moves are green. Melee is orange. Guns are yellow. It's all this stuff, and you can go in this menu and change it. And there's all these different lines of dialogue, like I think I'm worn down, keep shooting. I can change that to pile on the buffs to take down this giant. I can make the character say different things, and that's true for Elma, and that's true for Lynn. It's just a really in-depth system, and during my first playthrough, I never touched it. I touched it a little bit towards the end. Sample voice?
Ask questions later.
Oh, neat.
We should weaken them just to be safe. Sorry, I can't seem to get fired up.
Yeah.
I'll hold them. Let him have it.
Yeah. It's
They're
nice.
strong. We need to regroup.
And, like, Elma's like...
I'm in trouble. Heal me.
Ugh.
One more hit. Nice. Move in and do some damage.
That's one I hear a lot, and that's because... Oh, can I not edit hers? I can only edit mine. Oh, see? I'm learning things about the video game. Yeah.
Hostile neutralized. Switch to close range combat.
Oh, Elma, you're amazing. Fantastic. Mwah. Anyway. Real quick, let's go into ground gear, because I haven't touched my gear at all. I am basic nothingness right now. So, when you go into your gear, let's go to Elma and click X for submenu. I can just view the model, just straight up. Oh, there we go. Yep. So that's kind of nice. Look at those pants. Anyway. Oh, whoops. Can I just sort of change characters and have that reset? No. Let's view the model again. Push back. Okay, cool. So you can go to the X submenu. You can change your fashion gear. I'll get to that in a second. You can view what gear she has equipped. Or something? Whoops, I totally messed that up. Submenu. Equip strongest gear. This and like Tales of Vesperia has this as well, except it's just you just click in like the right thumbstick. But we'll go to Elma, submenu, equip strongest gear. Now she looks sort of messed up because she's lost her costume. Now I could change that gear, but I'm not going to. I want to see how long I can hold out. But what happens is when you go to change fashion gear, it's like Final Fantasy XIV calls it a glamour. I forgot what WoW says, but you can just say, hey, Elma has this scouter on now. And you take the unequipped scouter and you equip it as fashion gear, and now, no matter what they are actually wearing, it will just be the fashion gear that is shown. So, that's really neat. I like that. So what I did my first playthrough is I equipped Elma and Lynn and every other side character with the outfit that they had by default, because I like characters to have it. Like, they're real characters. My creative character, I can put whatever I want. And we'll come back to that at a time where I can buy a better outfit. Otherwise, I'm going to keep this default one for a while, and I'm going to later pick an outfit and stick with it forever. But what a nice, look at this. Look at them. Look at this gentle giant. Are you gonna go eat a tree? They're gonna go eat a tree. But anyway, that's armor and stuff. Now we're gonna learn how to, well, you'll see.
What the hell happened here? You don't think that one Sinicula could have killed all these simius?
Unless...
Unless... what?
this is bad.
What's bad? I don't follow you.
That Sinicula. It's a tyrant.
Huh? But it looks just like any other Sinicula.
Think about it. Your typical Simius is way higher up on the food chain than your typical Sinicula, right? Usually we'd find one Simius standing over 3 or 4 Sinicula corpses. But here, the tables have been turned. And I don't see a single trace of any other indigents in the area. There's only one explanation. That Sinicula is a tyrant.
Let me check the Blade Report database. If there's a tyrant this close to the city, someone must have run across it. Bingo. There was a Sinicula tyrant sighted not too long ago, but it was a couple of segments further out.
It could have followed the blade that spotted it back towards New LA, or come here to feed, or who knows what.
That's crazy. I can't believe there's a tyrant right on our doorstep and HQ isn't doing a thing about it.
Well, don't forget why they sent us here in the first place. Frontier Nav's range is still limited.
Oh, right. They couldn't track it if there's no local probe. They must have lost it when it went off the grid.
So should we kill it? Or should we ask what a tyrant is? Well, knowing how the choices are in the beginning of video games, if I suggest we're going to kill it, they're going to tell me what it is anyway. So, let's kill it.
Whoa there, Rookie. We're talking about a tyrant here. Do you even understand what that means?
We should probably explain. Tyrant is our term for any indigenous life form that falls outside of our usual threat ranking system. In other words, they're too powerful for us to even measure how dangerous they would be to take on.
And too powerful doesn't always just mean physically strong. If a creature has even a single especially nasty trait, it's classified as a tyrant.
Even some of Blade's very best teams have come back with serious injuries after running into a tyrant in the field. If they come back at all.
Suggest that we can handle it. Or, well, I mean, we can't just leave it by the door. We just open the door. Yeah, but we can do it, though.
Well, alright. I'm game if you are. Count me in, Elma. Let's do this. If we're gonna settle here on this planet, We're gonna have to get used to dealing with tyrants now and then. We can't just keep running forever, you know? Besides, I'd never forgive myself if someone else ended up getting hurt because we just left it here.
All right. Let's do it. But don't push it, okay? Either of you. If we can take it down, great, but if not, even just luring it away would be a moral victory. As long as we buy enough time to install the probe, we can use Frontier Nav to track it, or any other tyrant that comes this close to the city from now on. Just make sure you're ready before we attack. This will be tougher than anything else we've faced.
So, oh, they want us, they want me to upgrade my gear and arts. So I might do that, like, I might cut that when I do it. But tyrants are Xenoblades, they're in all the Xenoblade. I don't know if they're actually called tyrants in all of them, I kind of don't pay attention to the classification. But tyrants are unique monsters that are just, they're like beefed up versions of regular monsters. And they all have a proper name and title. You see on the right there it says Defeat Volkampf, the Pursuer. And they all have names like that. So it'll be like, oh man, what's his name? There's one guy, he's like some Gary the Immovable. It's not Gary, but there's like you know, the Immovable, the Unstoppable, the Immortal, the Pursuer. They all have titles and they all have like a proper name. It's amazing, fantastic, great. So I'm going to take a second and cut some footage where I'm going to upgrade our gear, and then I'll come back in when I'm upgrading arts and explain that real quick. Okay, so here's our arts screen. Here's the arts that I have unlocked, and I can press X to like upgrade them. See, it says expend 4 battle points to upgrade. My battle points are up top middle. I have 40, so I can just sort of, let's upgrade that, let's upgrade that. This, what's it do? Restores HP. Yeah, I can upgrade that. Let's just go across the board here and just upgrade all of my moves. And then let's go with Slit Edge again, because now it costs 12, and that'll cap me off. And then we'll go over here to Elma, who has 33. And you know, she likes her Shadow Strike. She likes her Sliding Slinger. She yells out a lot. This. Let's just go across the board as well. Okay, and then we'll go to Lyn. Lyn is a tank, I believe. Okay. Okay. Can I touch classes yet? I don't think I can. I'm rank 9. 9 out of what? Rank progress, 10 out of 55. Okay. And then after you finish being a drifter, you get to change your class, which will change what weapons I have. Like right now I have that rifle and like a knife, right? Well, I could change to like, what's this? If you want to go well balanced and suited for beginners, blah blah blah. Yeah, support from afar. So I'm probably just gonna go the top route, if that's the one I remember I did first. I'm gonna go straight. You know what? Actually, I have a guide to follow. Let's knock this boss out though, huh? Come on, Volkampf.
Oh, they've seen us.
Okay, so we're gonna start the battle. I failed that. So we're gonna lock onto his thing. Open this. Concentrate your fire. Let's destroy his foot. Okay. I'm going to. Ooh. There. Give myself a shield.
I'll make him hurt.
Let's focus on his head real quick. Oh, too quick. Okay, if I can wait for this. Yeah. There we go. wow, they're really getting the appendage. Come on, everybody. Shoot at me, my health's full. Okay, cool. Got him to aggro on me. I'll do this. Let's bring this camera out very far. Look at this. Look how far you can bring this camera out. Good stuff. Lynn, you need a shield. I'm gonna give you a shield. Want my gun. Keep shooting that. Oh man, I'm going too quick on him. No problem. Oh yeah, this is fine, we got this.
We are awesome!
Nice work, Lynn. You fought well. You did too. Now let's get down to business and install that data probe. If we stay here for long, there's no telling what other playmates might show up. This beam of light indicates a frontier nav site. It marks the ideal spot to bury the probe.
Okay, the probe should be ready for insertion. I'll just boot it up.
Thanks, Lynn. The top half of the cylinder contains the probe itself. The bottom half is a laser. It dissolves the soil so the probe can burrow to the proper depth. We tried just planting them on the surface at first, but we kept running into problems with the local wildlife damaging the goods. Burying them is going to save us all a lot of time and headaches in the long run. We all set?
Yes, ma'am. Whenever you're ready.
Why don't you do the honors? You can launch it right from your comm device. Give it a try.
Show interest in launch, or suggest Lynn should take care of it. I'm going to show interest in launch. What they usually do with probes is you walk up to the light and you just mash A bunch of times. This one's got a fancy cutscene. There's no other fancy cuts. You just walk up to the beam of light and you hit A like 40 times, and then, you know, like the wreckage and stuff, I keep walking up. It's the same deal. Same deal.
Good. Now we just need to give it a minute to reach the target depth.
And installation complete. We are now online with a solid connection to Frontier Nav.
Excellent. See? At the end of the day, there's really not much to it. The hardest part was calculating the ideal probe locations. We need them spread out evenly to maximize data collection.
Yep, planting probes is easy. And the more we plant, the more likely we are to find missing crew. So anytime you see a probe site, there's no excuse not to plant that sucker.
That'll do it for your training. Let's head back to the barracks and report to Secretary Nagi. That's true on any planet.
Okay, so they talked over each other a little bit. But yeah, you just walk up and you hit A. Yeah. Tyrants. They're just unique enemies with a special name. And they're a little stronger sometimes, but, you know, there's gonna be, we're gonna come up in the future, maybe like level 12 or something. You know, there's some of them are level 12, a lot of them are, like, definitely not. I'm just gonna run over and grab some crystals before we go. Now, right after this, I'll be able to fast travel back to the barracks, but we don't have that unlocked yet, so they want me to go see Nagi. But it's cool because we get to see the world. It's such a beautiful, like, wonderful world. The grass poppin' isn't that bad. Ooh, items. Like 3 items? Yeah. But there's one, you know, you can look up Xenoblade, the movie, as people will cut all the cutscenes into like a movie, right? But I don't recommend that because it's this running around. Like when we all leveled up at the end there, and you heard Lynn and Elma talk all over each other. They don't usually level up at the same time like that, and it's walking around with your crew and hearing how they speak, what it's like when they're losing, what it's like when you just won, when they level up. You really form like sort of a bond with the characters, and they'll in battle, after battle, sometimes they'll have lines where if two characters know each other, like Lynn and Elma, they will talk back and forth with each other, and there will be the fourth member of the party. They'll have lines that go back and forth. There's all these combinations, and you only get that if you play the game. You can't just watch the cutscenes, because it gets rid of a lot of the character growth. And I think it's important to not just cut the cutscenes for you all, but to have you there for a bit of the meat of the game. Now, was I just quiet because there's not going to be a cutscene? I don't know if there's going to be... No, there's not. There's, okay, so cool. Back to the Blade Barracks. What's up?
Commander Vanden.
Well, now, look what the cat dragged in.
Sorry we missed you last time. We could have come to meet you at HQ, you know.
Indeed. I suggested as much. Twice.
And we know how much I enjoy being told what to do. Anyway, I hear you tangled with a tyrant, way out of your league, on a training mission, no less. That was reckless, and goddamn magnificent.
Of course. And I would never force or coerce anyone. Well, friend, what do you say? Can we count on you to do your part? Ms. Koo, how much do you know about life pods?
Life pods? You mean like from the White Whale?
Yes, those life pods. Like the one Elma, a Blade, rescued our friend here from. Emphasis on the word rescued. Because if you aren't released, you just sit there frozen in stasis. Forever.
So did you have an engineering question about life pods? Or is this all part of the guilt trip?
I'm sure I have no idea what you're talking about. Now, what'll it be, friend? Now, you wouldn't want to refuse the people who saved your life, would you, friend? You said no, you wouldn't refuse. That's a yes, right? You said no, you wouldn't refuse. That's
God,
a
I love
yes,
this
right?
bit.